Podcast. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. It means so much to me. Yes, every comment is like a hug. It feels so nice. And yes, if you click the first time of one of my videos, hi, I'm Lina. I live with my boyfriend together in the middle of Germany, and yes, I like to make things. I like crafting and share this here on my video podcast. That's mostly knitting. I also like to crochet in the past, and I also done some felting and sewing and weaving, and recently I fell into spinning, and I love it so much, but I talk a little bit about it later. Yes, I hope it's okay with the sun. I wake up early this morning and have time, and it's so nice here with the birds, and it smells a little bit like spring, so I want you to come with me here and enjoy this lovely atmosphere. Okay, yes, I want to talk to you today about two finished objects. Then I have two works in progress and some spinning, and no, actually 3 works in progress. And yes, some spinning. I'm drinking a favorite tea of mine. Mostly I mix herbal teas myself. I collect them and mix them up. I like it very much, and this one I also buy in a package because it's so lovely, and they also have recently changed their package, so that's it is all in paper now. If you come from Germany, you might find this interesting. It is von Bad Heilbrunner. Kräutertee Abwehraktiv heißt der. Und yes, it has some pomegranate in it and some other herbs, and it's very good. Okay. I'm wearing a thing that I don't show you, that I don't have show you. It is a shawl. It is Waiting for the Rain shawl, I think, by Sylvia McLochlainn. I knit this last year for the wedding for my mother, and I wear it over the shoulders. It has some lovely lace, and actually I think that was the first interkit lace, or more complex lace, and I don't have knit any other lace before, and sometimes when you don't have done something, then you don't know how complex it is, and you have no you are not nervous to try it or so. Yes, I like this shawl. It is a crescent shaped shawl, and mostly I wear it as a scarf. Yes. And it's in the yarn BFL Messem 4-ply from Wurzeliebe, in the colorway Mulberry. Genau. Yeah. So, I wear another thing. That's a finished object. It is the Ramosa Headband from Marina, Skua. That was my first test knit that I have done, and it went very quick. We have a week time, but this headband you can knit in an evening. It goes very fast, and it is a nice, easy, delicate lace motif. And then in the back there's some ribbing, and the pattern is very good because you can customize it for what you need and for what head circumference you have, and you can knit it in any yarn and any weight yarn. I held sport to heavy fingering weight double, and knitted in 3mm needles for the ribbing and 3.75 for the lace, and I use only 14 grams. So if you have any leftovers, that is the perfect project. And I think it's also a very great gift knit when you know the circumference of the human who gets it. Yes, and Marina has also a make-along running right now. It is the Out of the Dark make-along, and when you knit this headband you can participate in this make-along. Yes. And you the headband, it's stretched out very much. I think when you want to use it as a normal headband, who gives a little bit structure, then you have to knit it with 3 to 5 inches of negative ease, I think. Yes. I have another finished object. This is also a pattern from Marina Skua. I love her designs, and yes, I talked a little bit about it in the last episode. I have the plan to cast it on, and I did. It is the Boskular. It is a jumper or pullover, yoke design, and it has some color work on the button and also here on the hem. And yes, I knit this in a month, but I have also going on a lot in my life at the moment, and yes, it's knit in heavy fingering weight. I think Marina knits it in her mended 4-ply. Oh, there are some chickens. And this yarn has 350 meters per 100 gram, and I knit it in another yarn, to me local yarn from Finkhof. It is an organic yarn, and it's a sport weight. It has 300 meters per 100 grams, so I go down a needle size to get gauge, but that's fine. And it is a very dense pullover. I have not blocked it yet, because I cast it off 2 days ago and I have no time so for blocking, so I will do it after this episode, I think. Yes. I used natural gray. It is a very warm natural gray, and then I dyed the contrast color last late summer, yes, and I used fern to dye it, the lilac-y flowers of the fern, and it gives a lovely green. I think though it was the second batch or third batch of this dye bath. Yes, and in the sun you can see the contrast very well, but without sunlight, without natural light, you can't see it at all. A little bit, but it's a low contrast, and so I have only knit the yoke when it was during the day, and yeah. I love this motif. It reminds me of roots, and it looks like spring. It looks like a knit out of the dark. Yeah. So the color work is very dense. I tighten up at the color work very much, and for the other parts, I knit stocking knit in 3.25, and for this color work part I knit with the needle 3.25, 3.75, and 2.75 for the ribbing. And here the gauge matches exactly, and I have done the color work here in 3.5 and it is a little bit tight. I try it on and I hope that it will block out, but I think so. Yes. I did some other modifications. Yes, it fits very tight. I knit this after I have some thoughts about shaping, and I want to talk about it later. But I choose a size more on my upper bust than on my full bust, because last time I have made the fisherman's raglan, and knitted in yarn, it grows a little bit, or unspun yarn, it grows a little bit with wearing. It gets very soft, and also it grows. And also I have talked about it in the last episode. Here in the raglan decreases, I have increases. I have too much fabric, and I watched the first episodes of Knitflix and Chill by Jen and Bess. They are two knitwear designers and also artists, and they educate people to knit. Not only size inclusive but shape inclusive, to make a garment which yes, sits on your body as you like it. And they talk a little bit about choosing a size that is choosing a size on your upper bust, and you measure not here but here and go back, and yes, some people, these measurements don't vary great, but on my body it is a lot. They are actually 1 to 2 sizes, and yes, so when I choose a pattern that is on this side, on this part of my body, sits with the recommended ease, then it's here way too big, and yeah, so much to think of. But it's very interesting. And yes, a month before the day, right after the last episode, I have really strong thoughts about shaping. Yes, it was interesting. But back to my pullover. Because of my shape, I'm a little bit wider on my hips, and so I like pullovers that go a little bit out and have an A-line shape. So I knit the second size on the yoke, and then after splitting for sleeves, I increased regularly to knit the third size on the bottom. And yes, it worked very well. It looks on my body that it looks on my body as if the pullover is straight, because of my shape, and that's nice. I think I have also increased. I could also have increased more, so that I knit the fourth size on the bottom. Then it will look A-line shaping, but I like it. So yes, and for the I did another modification. I did a tubular cast on here, and I'm not sure if this is a good decision, because the tubular cast on is very stretchy. So you can see it goes out here, and I hope this will block out. So I have not a weave in this end, and I also did a sewn bind off here on the ribbing and on the bottom also, and it took a while, but I enjoy it so much. I love sewn with my hands, and yes, I think the sewn bind off is a lot stretchier than a tubular bind off, I think. So it goes with the ribbing, and a tubular bind off is a little bit stiff, I think. So I wonder why, because it is a similar motion when you sew it, or when you do a tubular cast off bind off. you separate the stitches. The left stitches are on the back and the right stitches are on the front, and you done it with some slipping stitches, and maybe that's the reason, because when you slip the stitch you have a yarn there line, and yes, maybe that's, but the Kitchener stitch that you use to draft these two little layers together, that is the same motion, the same technique you use while doing a sewn bind off. Yes, but I like the sewn bind off very much better. And yes, I knit the sleeves also 7 centimeters longer, and they end here. I want long sleeves and I have also long arms, and I use 285 grams for the main color, and 80 grams for the contrast color. And I am interesting how it looks when it bugs out. So these are my finished objects, and now I have 3 works in progress. 2 of them you already know. I have completed 1 sock. It is a vanilla sock with a fleagle here, and I used it's a toe up construction, and I used 65 stitches on the widest point. In this pattern, it's a pattern from Hanna Haferkamp from Making Stories, and in this pattern the fleagle here begins relatively near on the turn here, and my foot is a little bit bigger here in the middle, so I want to try next time when I knit another sock not this sock, but the second, but another yarn. I want to try to start with the increases for the gusset a little bit earlier, and then I think I do the increases on the bottom. We will see. And then I also have here more stitches, because I knit for this sock. I knit already. I knit the first size for the foot, and for the gusset and the turn I knit the size 3, because I have a little. My foot is curvy, and yeah. So when I start earlier with the increases, I have more stitches here, and then I think I could decrease here in the back. We will see. But first I must knit another sock of these. And yes, this is also in a Wurzeliebe yarn, the Corriedale sock base. It's a natural sock without nylon, and we will see if it wears holes in them. Yeah. This sock, actually, when I was here at the heel turn, I knitted very fast. Yes, it's funny because when I'm knitting in the evenings, I don't grab a sock, but when I feeling like sock knitting, I have been on the yoke, and this I can't knit in the evening, and I also knit ribbing, and sorry. So I think I just want to knit stockinette in this evening, and so I want to knit on this sock. Yes, my second whip is the Ciorcal cardigan by Ailbíona McLochlainn, and I talked a little bit about it in the last episode, but I have done a little bit of progress on the ribbing and knit one sleeve, but I'm not sure if I want to make it longer, so I have put the stitches on hold. And yes, I'm knitting the second sleeve. This one took a while. I don't know. I knitted in the Thrive yarn from Wurzeliebe. It's an unspun yarn from the northern Germany, and yeah, I want to talk more about it when it's finished. I think that's a little bit better for me to finish something and talk then all about this garment or knit, because maybe I forgot what I say in the last episode. Yes. So, this shawl. Please, when you knit with hand-dyed yarn. Oh, this is also hand-dyed. I dyed this with a lot of red onion skins. It is Ailbíona Altmark 2, a local yarn also, and it's very nice mossy green. So when you knit with hand-dyed yarn, please alternate skein, or look at the skeins and check if they are a little bit even or uneven. I did not last year, and my shawl looks like this. So you see, this part has lots of red flecks and this not. And when I have done some alternating, then it will all look the same. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm learning. And yes, I thought about this also. I like to podcast because I want to share what I'm learning, and I love watching podcasts to learn from it and to learn from the experience from other knitters, and so I want to share it because I'm learning a lot. Yes, and I've also done a lot of spinning. I have, sorry, it's a little bit chaotic today. I have also cast on after the Boskular a hat from my brother. I improvised it. I take the measurements from a free pattern on Ravelry and modify it a lot. So my brother requested on the holidays a light hat for warm weather, because he wears it as an accessory, not so much for warmth. And here, this is the progress I have. I cast on 144 stitches with 2.75 needles, did 3 inches of 1x1 ribbing, and now I'm in the stockinette section. This is Schoppelwolle Crazy Zauberball, and it is a mild yarn that changes colors. It is not a fractal spin, it is more the colors change on the same time, and so it gets a little bit stripy. Yeah, and my brother wears it over the ears, so like a, I don't know what to say. It's a beanie, but he wears it on top of this head here. And so I think I could probably knit another inch or so and then start it with the decreases. Starting with the decreases, yes. The colorway is Herbstwind, and they are some reds and blues and grays and browns. I want to talk a little bit about spinning now. I've done a lot of spinning, a lot. I love it so much. I can't tell. It is really cool. Last time I showed you the orange German merino yarn, not yarn, fiber, this I spun, and on this yarn my fingers relaxed spontaneously. When I spun before the orange merino fiber, I use short draft to spin, and my fingers are very tension the fiber a lot, and they are with a lot of tension in them, and they hurt after half an hour or so. And yes, I learned a lot, and it was, every time it was a little bit better, but I don't enjoy it so much as I now do. And yes, on the merino, I don't know what I do. I just, I'm relaxing, I think, and I changed a little bit my technique to let twist between my hands, so it is more like a woolen spun, not a worsted, and I enjoy it so much when the twist is between my hands. I hold the fiber in my right hand, and with my left hand I don't pull the fiber. I have 1 or 2 fingers here and give it a little angle, like, and so I feel the fiber spits on its own. It is so nice. It is so nice. And I try to get thinner with the yarn and also more consistent. So I have, after the German merino, I've spun some BFL yarn. It was combed, not carded, so the fibers are all in the same direction. And I also, last summer, I have dyed some fiber of this with yellow onion skins, and it was brown gray BFL, and the fiber that I dyed turned green, a lovely yellowy mossy green. And yes, this was the first skein, but the second that I have plied, spun and plied, and you can see it's a little bit thick and thin, and when you're spinning a thick and thin yarn, the twist gets in these areas which are thin, and they are a little bit overspun, and the twist and the parts in the yarn which are a little bit thicker, there's not enough twist in it. And also when you ply it, the ply goes to the thinner parts, and yes, so the yarn is a little bit irregular. But the second skein, I noticed it, in the second skein I apply it a little bit more, and so it is a little bit wonky because it's over 3 weeks or so in a skein form, but I have washed it, and this is a little bit more consistent, and I'm enjoying it so much. Actually, I'm enjoying it now a little bit more than knitting, and yes, we will see. But I want to have also a nice knitting mojo. Yes, I think I want to improvise a garter shawl out of it. I have also an idea in mind, and I think a shawl with that you can easily bind off on every time, and the shape is okay. That's a good project for first hand spun yarn, because also garter stitch, that's a very forgiving texture, and yeah, you can use all yarn that you have, and also a shawl, you don't must knit a shawl to a specific gauge like a garment. Oh, there are some bees. Oh, actually, they have some Pollen auf Deutsch. Some this thing they make honey of. What is in the flowers? They have it on their legs. Okay. Yes, a shawl out of it. But this is not all. Then I have show you the Nutiden fiber. Oh, not Nutiden fiber. Fiber from Hanna or Air, from Sweden, and I was a little bit nervous to spin it because it was so lovely. It is a carded fiber, so it was a big bed, and I enjoy a carded fiber very, very much more than a combed fiber. So in a carded fiber, the fibers, the single fibers are all in all directions, and they are in the combed fiber, in the combed fleece. No, in the combed preparation, they are all in one direction, and you can more easily spin a woolen spun from a bed, from a carded fiber. So I enjoyed it very much, and this yarn is much more even. In this here I have parts that are chunky and parts that are fingering weight. And this one is very much evener. It looks for me between sport and decay. More sport, but it has some little bit thicker areas, and the fiber is so glorious. The colors are so nice. It is like a beige neutral, and they are dyed fibers in it. Some reds, some oranges, some yellows, some greens. I have saw some blues and also lilac on black, and it's like the rainbow. It's a tweed yarn, yes. I love it so much. Maybe you can see it. And I have 8 ounces here, and I think I have round about 460 or 80 meters. So it's a DK, yes. And I love to knit a vest out of it, vest that I can open. So yesterday I looked a little bit on Ravelry, and I found one from Marina Skua, and when I knit this cropped, I could probably get it done with this yardage. But if you have another size inclusive pattern for a vest that I can open, I love to hear from you. Yes. Or if you have any other idea. No, I want to knit a vest out of it. First, I want to knit a shirt, like a t-shirt, but the wool is so warm and woolly and squishy, and it will also make a beautiful shawl. But I think I will make a vest. Yes. And then I have also some new air fiber that I spun at the moment. Here is one single. These are 2 ounces. Yes. Here. And this is a gray fiber with some blues, and also there are some flecks of yellow, and yes, mostly yellow orange. And this is very interesting when you think about color, because this is also this is Nutiden, held with some other gray yarn from Wurzeliebe, and this is a very cool aqua. But this one, maybe you can see it, it's a lot warmer, and that's because, yes, there are some warm fibers in it, but it's like a tweed yarn, and it looks so the blue is muted down when you mix color with their contrast color, so blue and orange, red and green, and yellow and purple, you get a little bit more brown in it, so it mutes down, and this I like very much. And for this I have a plan. I want to knit this into a shawl, and my birthday is in March, so I have searched online for some more fiber to spin, and I my parents and my brother and boyfriend, and they are giving me some fiber. I have some natural fiber, some local fiber. I don't know the breeds in English, I can say it in German. Schwarzes Bergschaf oder Schwarzkopfschaf, ich weiß nicht genau. And also some Steinschaf. And I have found on Etsy a German woman which she dyes on combed fiber, Coburger Fuchsschaf. It's also a German sheep breed, and it's in danger, but not today I think, but it was in danger. And that is a very long, strong fiber, and she has dyed it, and maybe I want to apply this Kubera Fuchsschaf, this dyed one, together in a fractal spin and also use this as a contrast color and knit the Cinnabar shawl from Andrea Morwy. Or I want to improvise a shawl. I think a shawl is a perfect thing to improvise and use your own ideas, and it's so forgiving. So I love spinning. I have some recommendations for spinning. When you are German, of course, Chanti Manu, she's excellent. She has so much knowledge, and I link it below. All I think I link it below in the description box. Then Tazhi from Stitches and Starlight. I have found her podcast recently, and she's amazing. She spins over 2 years now, and she has also so much knowledge and is like it so much, and I understand it very good. I like it also so much and learn so much in so short amount of time. Yes, so I will link this below, and it's so funny because when you're learning something, all your attention is on something, and all over in your environment they are popping out some things around this topic, and so I read a lot about spinning and listen to some podcasts, and I think all the knitters, not all, but so many are spinning now. Yes, over the holidays. So Ellie from Black Spruce Knitting Podcast, I found her also this week, and she's a lovely person. She spins also and knit with her handspun, and yes, that I found very inspiring. So also by Tazhi, she, yes, it opens, the world is open. I think I have a lot of yarn stash, not a lot, but quite something, and I don't want to buy some yarn this year. I want to knit from my stash, and because I'm working a little bit less than the last years to be more by my boyfriend. I can do something online from home, and I am going one week a month, also to help on our farmers market garden. I don't know the right English word, but we have ecology. We have a market garden, and last year I made all the tomatoes. We have some tunnels, I think, with lots of tomatoes, and yes, I made them. They are so good. So how came I? How came I? Oh, sorry. So, Tazhi and Ellie. Emily of the Gentle Chaotic Knits podcast, she's also spinning, and it's so funny because she talks about learning to spin, and all what she said I experienced the same, and it's very 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 cool. But yes, for me it it is very different to relax and to spin woolen spun. That that make a big change. Yes. Emily is spinning. Kaci from Young Folk Knits is also spinning. Jackie and Carmen from a Knitting Good Yarn podcast, they are also begin to spin. And also, I'm sure you know the I Knit If I Want To podcast, Q&A from Andrea Morwy, and there she also talk a little bit about spinning, and it's nice. Yeah. I'm a little bit tired. I plan to talk a little bit about shaping and shape inclusive patterns or writing, but I think there's a bee right in front of the camera. But I think I now I'm more into spinning. I'll talk about it maybe in the next episode. But yes, Netflix and Chill, there you can find a lot of resources, a lot of good resources, and I will link it down. And also Meri of Meri Little Makes. She also talks about size and shape inclusivity, and she also makes some lovely things. She makes some sock patterns, and she also have knitting community page, Roots and Stitches. Yes, look up her podcast. She's amazing. And she's very much, she tries to shift the mindset in the knitting community to more inclusivity. Yes, and it's so important. I think the whole discrimination and not inclusive thing that is based on with what we identify with. I think I have some thoughts about it, but maybe I couldn't explain it well in English. Oh yes, and after the last episode I have a comment that someone, I think, it's a German lady, and she wrote a nice message, and she wrote that that she can understand me good when I'm talking in English, and I know that my English is it is not the best, but I want to share what I'm learning, and I learn in English when it comes to knitting. All my resources are in English, and when I wrote some notes about patterns or so, I do it in English. And when I talk to my friend or my brother or my friends or my family about knitting, I am. It is very complex because I don't know the words in German, and it is similar than I would talk English, and when I talk in German, when I will talk in German, it's not available for everyone. So yes, and I will try. I will practice. It just can go better. I think. Yes. After this comment, I have some thoughts because I want to that everyone is happy, and yeah, I have an idea to maybe record an episode in German, like a knit and chat, but in German, and talk a little bit about some things in the fiber community, or what I'm learning, or some other things in the world. I don't know, but maybe you have some questions. I don't know if I want to do 2 languages on this channel, on this video podcast. I enjoy to practice here my English, and I enjoy to be more open in it. I'm very nervous often, and I get more and more more and more sometimes I miss words, but I think it's okay. And for me, when a handful of people like this or enjoy it or learn something from it, then it's fine. I don't. My goal is not to have X amount of subscribers. I want to make connections, and I want to make people learn about crafting, and yes, so yeah. Whenever I get a comment, it's so nice. I'm happy about it, and so I wrote some more comments about under some podcasts that I like, and because I know how it feels when you get a comment. And yeah, I want to a little bit more to connect with other makers, and I don't enjoy Instagram that much recently. I think I won't use it so much in the next time, but yeah, feel free to reach out and leave a comment if you made it up to here. Yeah, I have lots of ideas and plans for the next time. What I want to knit, but I'm not sure what to cast on next. I have lots of ideas, and I have some things that I need in my wardrobe, and I have some things that I want really to knit, because I think I would learn a lot of it. Maybe it's a classic irgendwas. That was a German word. It's a pattern by Jen, and yes, I will. I want to try to include bastards in my pullovers when they are a little bit more fitted, and look how I feel about them. Yeah, I think that was all. So when you have an idea for a vest that I can open, please leave it in the comments below. And oh, when you're a spinner, maybe you can write your favorite fiber down below. I want to try Corriedale and Shetland and Icelandic wool in the next time, but if you have a fiber that you like very much. Oh, and Gotland. I want to try Gotland. Maybe in a mix. Yes. So when you have a fiber that you don't, that you like a lot, you can leave a comment. Or if you want to tell me something, what you're knitting on, or yes, feel free to leave a comment. And now I'm enjoying the sun a little bit more, and maybe eat something. So I wish you next lovely 2 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks. I think in this time period I will upload the next podcast. So bye, and yes, all good to you, and enjoy your life. Ciao.